What's going on, YouTube? Hold on, let me get my cousin to close the door. Hey, cuz, you'll close the door when you get a chance. You'll close the door when you get a chance. I'm on live. We're gonna wait for my cousin to close that door right quick. Okay, now live. Look, I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with Isis Wisdom, right? This is Isis Wisdom. She's a elder, I would say, or labeled as an elder. And let me slow this chat up because I wanted to read some of these. She's an elder in what they would call the community, the conscious community, right? So I'm gonna give you a background, a quick background on the people who she dealt with. Now, Isis Wisdom is someone who was cool with these names right here. She was cool with Rashad Jamal. After Rashad Jamal got in trouble for what it is that he's been accused of and been convicted of or whatever or whatnot, she turned her back on him. Now, Ryan Hayes, which is going on right now, the same thing. She used to speak highly of them. They were okay. They build and did all things like that. So Ryan Hayes is another one who she seemed to turn her back on, who she was preaching unity, my brothers, this, that, and the third, help waken the planet, Planet Kai, so on and so forth. So that's Rashad Jamal, that's Ryan Hayes, is Brother Polite. I don't even deal with Brother Polite. He was also accused of something dealing with minors. Now, I'm not taking up for these guys. If these guys committed these crimes, this is not me victim shaming. This is the victim right here. So this is not me doing any of this. This is just me asking the basic questions or the logical questions, because we all know that COINTELPRO is a real program, is alive and thriving. We all know that they use your own folk or your skin folk to be the rat or the infiltrator of the group. Now I find it odd, now it's highly questionable that all of these men are what they paint them to be. Rashad Jamal is someone she was cool with. Ryan Hayes is someone she was cool with. Young Farrell is someone she was cool with. Another one, Brother Polite, Ryan Hayes, um, Rashad Jamal. Um, that's Ryan Hayes. I'm trying to make sure I name as many of them as possible who I witnessed firsthand, who she's cool with and talked highly about when these guys wasn't in the trouble that they're in now. So that's Ryan Hayes, that's Young Pharaoh, that's Rashad Jamal, that's Brother Polite, and a few other. I want to say Sinetta is not Sinetta, but Sarah Sadin Sudan, or whatever, or whatnot. But we all are familiar with how COINTELPRO like infiltrate, and we already know the layout for COINTELPRO, right? So what I do find odd is how she has been rooting for these brothers the entire time they was out, but the first sign of trouble, she totally disregard them, don't take up for them. Like you could see the transition in it from when it was Rashad Jamal to Brother Polite to Young Pharaoh. You could see how she was once trying to like take up for these brothers and ask and question things. Right now in this video, this is Isis Wisdom. This is the alleged victim of the case. This is not me victim shaming. What I'm saying is we see this time and time again from the conscious community and these alleged spiritual leaders and things like that. But we already know how they feel about the alleged Messiah rising and starting a revolution. I find it highly strange that Isis Wisdom has, instead of we seen the progress where she slowly stopped taking up for these brothers who she was going to bet with, to her being like a CNN, like sort of say journalist. Like right now, she's not like asking the tough questions when it comes to this. So I haven't seen it beyond this point right now. I figured that I'll start recording now, but based on the chat, it's just strange because a lot of people feel the way I feel as well. Not to take anything from this woman right here, because what she's saying could be the God honest truth. I don't know Brother Polite, Rashad Jamal, Saru Sadin, Sadi, Young Pharaoh, Rashad Jamal. I don't know these guys in real life. I only know them for the works that they put in online and the community, right? But I find it strange that she's connected to all of them. She's connected to all of them. Nothing has happened in her life yet, but all of the people who was bigger than her is taking a hit, all of them. And it went from her defending them to her asking CNN type journalist questions. Just pay attention. She's not gonna be like really hammering down on her. And I don't mean like in a way like, oh, those brothers are telling the truth and you're just a liar, this, that, and the third. No, just watch how easy the interview go for us. There's no resistance in anything she say. This lady is not providing any receipts. Rashad Jamal was taken out the exact same way. So many other people were taken. I don't have to go over history lessons, but let's just listen to how Isis Wisdom interview this alleged victim, right? I just find it weird, right?
Say so.
And look at the comments now. Look at the comments.
It felt weird to you. You was getting
Yeah.
weird vibes. Okay. Now we're gonna get into a little bit more detail about what happened. Um, and this is gonna be a trigger warning for everybody that's listening right now that may have experienced this. But I'm going to allow her to speak her truth. Use discretion because we are on YouTube. But let's talk about what led up to the night of the assault.
Now, just pay attention for those who just coming in, if anybody is in at all, right? Now, like I said, Isis Wisdom, which is her, she's a big part of this conscious community movement, right? Now, would she have in connection with all of these guys in the community that has been taken down? We all know about COINTELPRO. I'm not taking up for Isis. I'm not taking up for her. I'm not victim shaming. I'm just saying it's very odd, though. She was going to bet for Rye Hayes, this guy who's accused of sexual assault. She was going to bet for Saru Seti. She was going to bet for Young Pharaoh. She was going to bet for Rashad Jamal. She was going to bet for so many others, right? And what's crazy is how she is living a peaceful life. Gang stalking is not affecting her. COINTELPRO is not affecting her. And everybody that she once stood up for, she has turned their back on. I don't know if any of y'all have been subscribed to any of these guys who I just named. I never was a fan of what I said. What is his name? Brother Polite. Never been a fan of him. Don't even watch his content, but I'm familiar of the legal trouble that he got into with the sexual allegations against a minor. I don't condone that. Anybody who ever did anything like that deserves hell, the worst. I mean, punishment to the utmost fullest of the law, right? So I don't agree with any of that. I'm just drawing the lines in the sand where I find that it's odd that everybody who is big in the spiritual community is taken down and she's alive or she's aware and thriving and here to tell a story. When it first started with Young Pharaoh and Saru Seti, when they first got in their beef and falling out, she had a lot to say. She was billing with Young Pharaoh. She was cool with Saru Seti. Even Sinetta, she was cool with them. That's the same thing as I stated with Rye Hayes. That's the same thing with Rashad Jamal. She was coming out speaking against it when the allegations came up against Rashad Jamal. Oh, the baby mama just bit her. She doing this. She's lying on Rashad Jamal. Everybody, if y'all want to reach the king, this, that, and the third, to her turning her back on all of these guys, like turning their back on them. She's not trying to go to bat for them or nothing. She's not trying to like speak up for them or anything. I find it odd that it turned from that to this, to her slowly. Like you could go back and watch her slowly taking up for Young Pharaoh, slowly taking up for Sinetta, slowly taking up for Rye Hayes, slowly taking up for Brother Polite. This is all shit that I witnessed with my own eyes because I've been following her and the whole group for a while. Everybody except Brother Polite, I've never been a fan of his content or him for that matter anyway, though. I just find it strange that she always survived all of the bullshit to survive and tell the story, though. And I literally watched her turn her back on everybody who she was acting like she was truly there for it. But just listen to how like she is, even on journalism. When it comes to journalism, we all know that if you know anything about it, we have to ask the tough questions. So even if she is a real life victim, we still have to ask those tough questions, which may be uncomfortable to her. But we won't see any of that going on right now to with Isis Wisdom. And I pay attention to shit like that because you could clearly see that everything about her, since all these male spiritual leaders have been taken out or charges has been brought against them and their platforms has been destroyed, Isis Wisdom is the only one to survive all of this, y'all. Just listen to her line of questions.
What happened?
So it was 3 specific incidents that I remember vividly.
You see what I'm saying? Right off gate, I haven't listened to anything beyond this point. Once I heard up to this point, I automatically said, "Man, I'm ready to go live on this because it's not adding up." You could look at the chat, but you see what she just said. She said there has been 3 incidents up to this point. What the fuck do you mean 3? So you're not smart enough to say, okay, well, the first time that's shame on me. Second time, well, first time is shame on you. Second time is shame on me. But it was a third time. You said it's 3 times? Okay, let's go ahead and continue. Let's see what she's going to say next.
Where the most disturbing one was, this was when I was still okay with laying near him before I started saying things like, okay, I'm going to lay over here and use a different blanket. Okay, I'm going to flip on the other side of the bed, stuff like that. This was,
oh my God. I don't know what she's going to say, but you mean to tell me laying in the same bed, sleeping with different blankets. So y'all are in the same bed. So this was on what I'm assuming, based on what she said just now, was an intimate relationship. And you mean to tell me, as a grown woman, you think that there's not going to be anything involved if you lay in the bed with a grown man? Who the fuck do you think we are? I mean, just be honest. Who thinks that, though? Who thinks that? We're sleeping in the exact same bed. I mean, we had to come up to terms with this. So you mean to tell me it was 3 incidents, and the whole time these 3 incidents occurred, we've been sleeping in the same bed? Bro, cut it out. That shit just sound weird because I'm looking at it from a we grown perspective. So you already know that if you come over and we're sleeping in the same bed, and we do it multiple times, come on, bro. Like, come on, cut it out, bro. It just sound weird to me. To me, I could be wrong. I'm just saying, to me, where I'm from, and the women I done deal with over my 40 years. No, it's not. That's not happening, bro.
this was when I was still okay with being near him. On one instance, he grabbed my chin and started to move my mouth towards his, thinking I was asleep. So he thought I was asleep, and he started moving my mouth towards his. And at first, he was already kissing on my ear and like on my head and stuff. And so he starts moving my mouth.
You see what I'm saying? She said when he thought I was asleep, she tried to grab my face and bring it closer to his for a kiss. But before all this started, he was already kissing on me, and I was aware that he was kissing on me, but I ain't stop him then. I only waited until he grabbed my face and tried to bring it closer for a kiss. What? So if you feel uncomfortable, let's just say what you're saying is true. You feel uncomfortable. He started kissing on your head and started kissing on you before he even grabbed your face. How is it that you let it transpire to that point before you say, you know what, this is enough? So you allow him to do all that while you're thinking that he thinking you're asleep. So you already in your mind thinking that, oh, he doing this because he think that I'm asleep. But the whole time I'm woke. So I'm going to let him keep doing it until I don't want him to do it no more. Then I'm going to speak up. What the fuck? That sounds weird.
My mouth to kiss him. So I'm genuinely like, I know I'm not tweaking. Like, maybe he'll catch his senses and then like stop. But he doesn't. And then he keeps moving my mouth, and his mouth is like right by mine. And then I was like, are you trying to kiss me? And he was like, if you allow me.
Bro, but she just said that he thought she was asleep the whole time. What?
I'm going to lay over here and use a different blanket. Okay, I'm going to flip on the other side of the bed, stuff like that. This was when I was still okay with being near him. On one instance, he grabbed my chin and started to move my mouth towards his, thinking I was asleep. So he thought I was asleep, and he started moving my mouth towards his. And at first, he was already kissing on my ear and like on my head and stuff.
Right now,
So
and may
you
have experienced this.
And then the final incident where I did leave that last night.
So, but did you see what I'm saying? At first, she said that he was trying to bring her face closer to kiss him. And then she rewinded before that and said, but at first, he started kissing on me thinking I was asleep. So you mean to tell me as he was kissing on you and he thinking you were asleep, you allow him to do that. And then you said that when he tried to kiss you in the mouth, though, that's when you drew the line and you woke up and or whatever, or you came to and asked them. So you this, that, and the third. Just listen to what she's saying. It really don't make sense. I'm now, like I said, I'm not trying to victim shame. It's just that we literally see and witness this tactic used time and time again. So one would have to think these are logical questions. So if you're telling me that this man was filling you up or doing this, that, and the third, and you were aware of it, and you think that he thought that you were asleep, why didn't you stop it then? But you let it progress to the point where you're saying he grabbed your face and tried to bring you in closer for a kiss on the lips. Make it make sense, bro. That's all I'm saying is that is mind-boggling to me.
Did he ever tell you who Big Mama was? Did he ever show?
Parallel to the mirror, he pointed at the dress skirt that she's wearing, male's parts.
Tiara.
Big Mama is in other incidents. He would get up and talk to me about it. Goes too far, and then he forces himself back on me and starts kissing on my back. So then, are you trying to kiss me? And he was like, if you allow.
Cause I ain't heard nothing beyond this.
On one instance, he grabbed my chin and started to move my mouth towards his, thinking I was asleep. So he thought I was asleep, and he started moving my mouth towards his. And at first, he was already kissing on my ear and like on my head and stuff. And so he starts moving my mouth to kiss him. So I'm genuinely like, I know I'm not tweaking. Like maybe he'll catch his senses and then like stop, but he doesn't. And then he keeps moving my mouth.
Bro, that makes no sense. She's saying that she's awoke at the time that he's kissing on her neck and her ears, and maybe he'll catch on, even though I didn't tell him to stop. Maybe he'll catch on that I want him to stop. But even though I didn't tell it, and I think that he's doing it because I'm asleep. I'm not gonna speak up about it. I'm gonna continue to let him to do it instead of saying no. Bro, that just sounds weird, bro. That sounds weird.
And his mouth is like right by mine. And then I was like, are you trying to kiss me? And he was like, if you allow me.
Why would she act that when she just verified that he was already kissing on her neck and her ears? What are you talking about? Aren't I already engaged in the act of kissing you on your neck, as you said, and your ears? What the fuck is you talking about?
And I'm like, how can I allow you when you think I'm asleep? And you didn't say anything. You just started moving my body without.
Bro, if anybody that been with a female, whatever, and y'all have slept together and she ain't give you the cheeks, females have did this before. Like, be ass naked or in her panties, and y'all could be laid up, and she's not making no moves on you. The only move she's making is scooting her butt up against your penis. Like, literally. We all know that that's the move that she want to fuck, because she's hunching against my penis, like on purpose, like getting it hard, could feel that it's hard, it's erect and everything, and she's still grinding against it. So this is like foreplay. We all know this. So if you allow a man and you're a woman who's doing that and you're doing it on purpose, and I'm not making you do this, and you could feel and you understand what's going on, as soon as I make a move, you talking about something, he thought I was asleep. How the fuck do you know what this man was thinking? When you obviously was woke, aware, and was giving him play. You're saying that. You was aware. You could have told him, like, no, stop, this, that, and the third. But notice, none of that came up from her point of view. If you think that this man was taking advantage of you and he thought that you was asleep, why you ain't say, no, this, that, and the third? No, I don't think we should do this, that, and the third. But you allow him to continually seduce you and be provocative with you until it got to a point where you said, are you trying to kiss me? Bitch. Why not just licking on your ears and kissing your neck? What the fuck you think I'm trying to do? More than kiss you? See, that's that trick shit that they be up to. That's what I'm just saying. As grown people, none of this makes sense from what she's saying. But I'm not trying to be the victim shamer because I know there's niggas out here who I know it's females who's gullible, niggas who's green, females who green, niggas who's probably professional groomers and try to take advantage. It's 2024. This lady has her own place. We could see that she's older than 20 fucking 5. We could see that. So you mean to tell me you're going with this story? This is crazy. This, with no receipts, no text messages, no proof, just your story based on you saying that, bro, it's crazy.
Without my consent.
Without your consent.
That was a really disturbing incident. And another really disturbing incident was when he starts like rubbing on my back and stuff. And he starts like filling me up a whole lot.
So you mean to tell me after that, so that was the first incident. After the first incident, you went back and allowed it to be a second incident. And not only that, you went back and allowed it to be a third incident. Oh, bitch, you building up a story. Oh, you building up a story, bitch.
He starts groping my chest. And that was when he moved his hand down to my sacral chakra area and started.
Oh, Lord, this is her trying to cling on. Oh, Lord. This is her trying to cling on to the spiritual community. This is when he tried to grab down and reach to my sacred chakra area. Bitch. Fuck is you talking about? So if I violated you the first time we stayed over, you came and allowed me or put yourself in the same situation for me to violate you the second time? Not only the second time, but the third time. Boo. Boo. As a grown-up, right, if me and you wasn't together, you were single, I hit you up, we end up chilling, you invite me over to your house, we sleep in the same bed. Do you expect me to make a move, or do you think something's going to go down? Do you think the man should think that he should be getting some pussy that night if you sleeping in the same bed? What? No. You gave it up to me.
The first night? Sleeping in the same bed.
Why is we sleeping in the same bed on spending the night? And then hold on, let me tell you this more. Look. But she's allowing him to kiss on her neck and her ear. Yeah. She's allowing him to make these type of moves, right? And then when he make these moves, she don't say nothing about him. She said that she only say something about it when he goes to kiss her in the mouth, right? But now that's the first incident that she said raised red flags. This bitch to chill with him again twice after that.
I mean, yeah, you put it like that.
She chilled with him again. So if something was wrong with me doing that to you the first night and you felt like I invaded your space or violated you as a woman, why would after that you come and chill with me 2 more times and put yourself in the exact same situation?
You did that.
This one of them spiritual niggas that be on YouTube. But is that what y'all be thinking? Because you don't want me to tell YouTube our story. Yeah, that just sounds weird to me. Huh?
Using his hand to touch me and go inside of me. And he was kissing on my back and stuff. Well, before he started kissing on my back, I said, hey.
Oh my God. I don't know what she's about to say. Now, this is the second incident that she's picking up. And she said he was kissing her and he was inside of her with his fingers. What the fuck? What the fuck? So you couldn't get no more clearer or liar than, hey, what the fuck is you doing? No, we ain't doing this. I can't see you no more because you're a little bit too aggressive, this, that, and the third. But you came around for a third time, motherfucker. And now you telling the world, oh, you did this and here. I ain't want him to do it. What?
Hey, like I moved his hand out my shorts and I was like, hey, let's like stop before this goes too far. And then he forces himself back on me and starts kissing on my back. So then I got up and I turned the light on and I was like, what are you doing? So that was when I was like, okay, no more.
You can tell she not looking at her eyes. She looking left and right. If you go look up how the FBI profile a motherfucker when it comes to reading them lying if they're not taking their blood pressure and shit, they gonna tell you this is a key sign. Pay attention to the eyes because the eyes drift like left or right when you're making up a story, and they drift the opposite way when you're remembering and telling the truth. Her eyes is all over the place, bro. I pay attention to all that. I ain't lying.
More laying next to each other, I'm just gonna sleep on the other side of the bed all the way with a different blanket. And then the final incident where I did leave that last night. Okay, make sure this is back up. Okay, the final incident where I did leave that last night was I was all the way flipped over on the other side of the bed, and he grabbed my butt cheek. He grabbed my buttocks, like grabbed it. And I remember this because I was up watching a YouTube video, so I wasn't even asleep to be caught off guard. I was wide awake when this happened. And so I turned on the light. I was like, dude, basically, like, we already talked about this. What are you doing? And he looked at me. He rolled over, looked at me, kind of mugged me, and then just went back to sleep and nothing happened. When all the other incidents, he would get up and talk to me about it. But that time, he just laid back down as if nothing happened.
When you said that he would talk to you about it, what were the things that he was saying to you?
So I would ask him, why did you do that? Because in my head, I'm thinking he's this teacher of the matriarchy and the divine feminine, so he should know better based off of what he's speaking about all the time. And
no, as a woman, you should know better not to put yourself in that uncomfortable position after you said that he violated you once. You forgave him. He violated you twice. You forgave him. And then you gave him a third time to violate you. You are either a broken woman, no offense, who never was showed how to love, or you were setting him up from the beginning. It's the only thing that I could think of, bro, because you're either broken or you were setting him up from the beginning. It makes no sense. What grown female is actually that dumb? Come on, bro. Like, just be honest, bro. Now, you're in the spiritual community, the community who try to pride themselves on being woken, chosen, and this and the third. And you mean tell me you in this community dumb as a bitch, and you just don't know nothing. You're oblivious to everything. This your first rodeo. Okay.
he said, Big Mama said that I must learn more about the female nurture instead of the male nature. That's what he would say.
You see these questions that I'm coming up with. Notice that Isis Wisdom, who was taking up for all these brothers who got hit with these type of charges. Every
Did he
last
ever
one
tell
of
you
them.
who Big Mama?
All of them but Saru said got hit with these type of charges. From Rod Hayes to Young Pharaoh, where's baby mama Goldie, to Rashad Jamal. All of them got hit with these type of charges. And she's the only one here to profit from it and to talk about it. She's not giving her no high questions or nothing, because the truth is going to always be the truth. One thing for sure. The truth is going to always be the truth. And there's no resistance from ISIS. There's literally no resistance at all from ISIS, bro. I find that very weird. Not only there's no resistance, but her saying that it happened on 3 occasions. That's like me going to a gambling spot and a motherfucker come and rob it the first night I'm there, and I go back to that same gambling spot with my friend, be like, well, ain't nobody gonna rob it tonight. And I go back and they get robbed again, and then I give them a third time and say, all right, third time the charm, I know ain't nobody gonna rob it tonight. And I get robbed again. Bitch, how the fuck I ain't exclude myself from a dangerous situation the first time that trouble arose? It makes no sense.
Big Mama
bro.
was? Did he ever show you what Big Mama looked like? And
Yes.
can you describe to my audience who Big Mama is and what Big Mama looked like, and was Big Mama an actual spirit?
What is she looking down at? Like she reading off a pad or something, bro. Look at the lady on the right, bro. When she asked that question, watch how her ears and body language go. Just watch her, bro. Watch her when she asks her that question. Like this shit scripted. Look at her.
All the time. And he said Big Mama said that I must learn more about the female nurture instead of the male nature. That's what he would say.
This bitch that hit the Oprah and the Gayle King joint. Like, Lord, I can't believe he done said this to you, beautiful black queen. Lord, I can't believe he said this. But go on, tell us your story. Watch how she look down. Look at her face with that reassuring little smirk. This is just wild.
Did he ever tell you who Big Mama was? Did he ever show you what Big Mama looked like?
Watch her eyes, man. Watch how she cut down and stay focused for a minute, like she's reading something or trying to remember something.
And can
Yes.
you describe to my audience who Big Mama is and what Big Mama looked like and was Big Mama an actual spirit?
So I'll answer that last part first.
Bro, you could see her glancing out of this part of her eyes right here. Is that the right corner? Still trying to look down and lift her head up at the same time. If y'all can see that, I don't know what's going on.
Show you what Big Mama looked like? And
Yes.
can you describe to my audience who Big Mama is and what Big Mama looked like and was Big Mama an actual spirit?
So I'll answer that last part first.
Look at her. She's still
He
looking
did
down,
not
bro.
directly say that
Put
this
her
is what
eyes
Big
right in the
Mama
same
is,
spot
but
as
Who
if she's
Big
reading
Mama
off
is
notes.
and what Big Mama looked like and was Big Mama.
Boom. There she go. First looking down to read the notes is what I'm taking from her. Look at her. Watch her eyes when she go to finish what she's saying. You could tell that she's looking in the bottom right-hand corner. You could tell that her eyesight is going towards here. Boom. From this trajectory, how her eyes is, you can still see partially of this eye right here. You can tell that she's looking down in this angle right here. Boom.
Mama an actual spirit.
Look, she focused. She locked in right now. She locked in right now.
so I'll answer that last
Looked
part
away.
first.
Boom. She's looking back at it. She looked away. Now she's glancing back down at it. Right before she answered, if this is coming off the memory, then you should be able to start right in the camera and let it go. It should be able to flow out fluently. I mean, to me, that's how I think the truth works. I don't think the truth changed. And I think that anytime you tell it, that it's something that you don't have to think about to tell. It just comes out natural because it's the truth. I don't think you need no pad. I don't think you need to glance down. Just glance right in the camera and tell them everything that you remember. That's what I think. That's how I think the truth looks.
First, he did not directly say that this is what Big Mama is, but I'm able to use context clues. He told me what an egregore is, and he also posted this on his Instagram. An egregore essentially is a collective groupthink. So once a group of people start to believe in something, you can create your own spirit entity based off of everyone believing in it. And we all know this based on what everyone teaches about as far as religion.
She this and we all know this, but you couldn't tell that he was trying to take advantage of you, even though you put yourself in the same scenario 3 motherfucking times and you didn't feel right the first time. You this smart, now all of a sudden you smart. And we all could tell this, that it's a this, that, and the third, because we all then, but you ain't know nothing prior to, huh? Okay. Tell us how smart you became.
So Big Mama is an egregore, and in his room he has a photo of a lady. She looks like a hefty grandma who's carrying a basket, and it's an abstract picture, so it's not the exact proportions of a person. It's more abstract where the part at the top is more narrow where the head is, and then the skirt, the dress skirt that she's wearing is more wide than it generally would be looking at a regular person's body. So that picture is in his room on his mirror, and the bed is parallel to the mirror. He pointed to the picture and said, "That's Big Mama."
So that egregore was talking to him and saying things.
Mhm.
Oh man.
Was there anything else that you also noticed that definitely caught you off guard?
As far as Big Mama goes,
Yes.
I put together some things intuitively, and it's not the easiest thing to hear. Essentially, Big Mama, the way that the shape of the picture is the shape of a phallus. That's the shape of a male's parts.
So basically, Big Mama's shape looks like a penis, and I'm assuming that her butt area was supposed to be the balls.
Bro, Isis Wisdom put that together like, bro, I just heard everything she said, and I was confused when she said that. But Isis Wisdom know exactly what she's talking about. I'm 40, I can't be that goddamn slow. You put it together that fast, and this is your first time hearing her explain it in this fashion, right? So this was not pre-planned or talked about. You knew exactly what she meant when she said what she said, because I was fucking confused. I was waiting for some clarity, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. I ain't know what the fuck she was great to get at.
Male's parts.
Listen to how she broke it down. I was confused.
Was there anything else that you
Listen.
also noticed that definitely caught you off guard?
Listen to how she described this, bro. I swear I was lost. If anybody else could vouch that they caught on to this soon as she said it, then kudos to you, because I'm a slow thinker then, if that's the case.
As far as Big Mama goes,
Yes.
I put together some things intuitively, and it's not the easiest thing to hear. Essentially, Big Mama, the way that the shape of the picture is the shape of a phallus. That's the shape of
What's crazy is she said she put this together intuitively. So what she's saying is, Ryan Hayes didn't tell me that this picture represents this. I put this together intuitively. Like it came to me. Me looking at this picture of Big Mama, I was able to say that Big Mama is shaped like the dick and the shaft, and her ass is shaped like the shaft. Even after she putting it like this, Isis Wyndham knew exactly what she was talking about. Me as a male, I was completely fucking confused. I don't know what the fuck y'all bitches talking about. But go on, finish explaining so I can catch on. Oh, you talking about, okay, now I see the silhouette or the frame. How is it that you put this together intuitively? And before you even describe what it is, Isis already know exactly what it is to back you up on it. Oh, so you're saying that the picture of her was shaped like the dick and the butt was the balls, basically. Bitch, how the fuck y'all think of that? I thought that joke was one of them trick questions, to be honest. But hey.
a male's parts.
So she didn't confirm it with him. This is what she thought of herself, and she said that it's true, that he's viewing these pictures of Big Mama as a phallus, which is the male dick, and her butt represents the balls. He didn't confirm this with her. This is what she put together intuitively, but she couldn't put together that something's wrong with this nigga when I stayed the first night and he tried to violate me against my will. Not only that, I went back the second night and he tried to do it again, girl. Girl, I gave this nigga a third time and he tried to do you know how crazy you motherfuckers sound when you say some dumb shit like that, though? I'm just saying, this is the shit that make people like me skeptics. Hard to believe anything that people like this say because there's so much backtracking, and when you really hear someone talking about it, it don't make sense. This is not me victim shaming, because anybody who ever been taken advantage of, raped, touched, molested, I wish they get nothing but justice. I wish that they find nothing but peace. I hope that the trauma don't goddamn carry on with them through the rest of their life, and that they could overcome it, and the people who's responsible for it right and burn in fucking hell. But also, I gotta just be real about it. The people who put these type of false claims on an innocent person, not saying that that's what she's doing. I'm just saying that's what it's seeming like to me. And I could be fucking wrong. I could be an asshole about it. I could be a dick about it. I could take all that. I'm just going based off her actions, how I know Isis Wisdom to be, and the shit that she's saying, and how Isis Wisdom is not asking the tough journalist's question. Because why did you go back out the second time? The mainstream media probably would even ask for that. Not Isis. She ain't even say, well, why? Well, after it happened the second time, why the hell you go back the third time, girl? Like, what the fuck was you thinking?
So not only did you go back once, what did you think was gonna happen if you said that this guy's a sexual predator like this and he's taking advantage of you because he's thinking that you sleep and you're woke the whole time, but you're thinking that he's trying to take advantage of you because he think that you're asleep? Bitch, you playing motherfucking games, bitch. You trying to sit a nigga in the fucking jail. That's what's going on.
So basically, Big Mama's shape looks like a penis, and I'm assuming that her butt area was supposed to be the balls.
I never would have put anything like that together if she wouldn't even painted the picture so vividly for me. So for me to be a man and for me to have good comprehension skills, for her to automatically know what this lady is saying based on that flawed ass explanation or scenario that she gave is weird, because she said on this side that what I came to learn on my own without Rod Hayes telling me is that he viewed the pictures like this and he view them like that. I determined this all on my own. This is what she's telling y'all. I used my own discernment to say, yeah, he look at the pictures like this, and I communicate that with you, and you automatically gravitate and know exactly what I'm saying. He look at the picture like, what the fuck you mean? He look at the picture like this, that, and the third. So this nigga he didn't get turned on by her titties and her ass or her lips or her eyes. He got turned on by the shape of her body because it resembled a fucking cock and her ass resembled the balls. Bitch, how the fuck I'm supposed to figure that one out from you talking about it? That just sounds weird to me, bro.
Or the
Now I
scrotum.
didn't see the back part, but I could only assume that.
So she assumed all this and saying that she didn't even see the back part of the painting. Am I correct in saying that? This is just crazy, bro. This is crazy. It's so easy to take someone down based off an allegation. We done seen this time and time again. We already know how they use the honey pots and everything in this scenario. If anybody was a follower of Rashad Jamal's before he got locked up and y'all wasn't able to experience his content prior to that, years before that, not just when he just became popular because he's locked up. The same thing with Young Pharaoh. Anybody who watches Young Pharaoh today versus Young Pharaoh 5 years ago could clearly see that those are two different individuals, and something did happen along the way. Like, Young Pharaoh is not the same Young Pharaoh he was 5 years ago. We seen what Jamal Rashad was doing before he caught this case coming from his baby mama put on him supposed to have been touching one of the kids, which I still believe, honestly, is bullshit based on the online presence that Rashad Jamal have compared to the online presence that this low vibrational baby mama of yours have. The music she listened to, the way she dressed, what she's talked, she's not putting anything positive into the atmosphere Rashad Jamal was. So it's like, why would you believe someone such as that who's putting nothing but negativity and bullshit, low vibrational shit, don't understand right from left and north from south and things of this nature? Not to even shit on that lady, but I'm just telling y'all the guys on the truth. Why would anybody believe someone to that magnitude compared to someone who's been putting in the work? It's just weird, bro. And that's what I see going on with ISIS right now, for real, to be honest. Me personally, like I said, I could literally be wrong about all this.
It's like a penis.
I doubt it, though.
And I'm assuming that her butt area was supposed to be the balls.
ISIS is a freak if she could determine that. She's a fucking freak, because I couldn't figure that out. I'm just telling you, I couldn't figure that out.
Or the
Now
scrotum.
I didn't see the back part, but I could only assume that.
Okay.
That would make
You see what I'm saying? She's saying that this picture of mama remind her of the dick, and she agreed with ISIS and said that the butt remind me of the balls. Then when it came back time to her talk, well, I didn't see the backside of the picture, so I don't know if she got a fat ass or if that reminded him of the balls. But all I know is the shape of her reminded him of a dick. What, bitch? YOLO, you heard my motherfucking head. Let me listen to that again, because I want to make sure that my comprehension level is above par. I just want to make sure it's me. I don't want to make it seem like it's them. I want to make sure that I'm fucking up on my end by misinterpreting or digesting this information wrong.
essentially Big Mama, the way that the shape of the picture is the shape of a phallus. That's the shape of a male's parts.
So basically, Big Mama's shape looks like a penis, and I'm assuming that her butt area was supposed to be the balls or the
Now
scrotum.
I didn't see the back part, but I
So she didn't see the ass. She didn't see the back part. So she's saying that no fucking homo. She is saying that Big Mama is shaped like this, though. I'm gonna do this for reference for sake of YouTube, bro. This is crazy, bro. Disney penis. Y'all probably remember this right here. Was on the Little Mermaid back in the day when they had these subliminal cockpits right here. So they saying that. So she's saying that Big Mama is shaped like this. She said she ain't see the back part where the ball's supposed to be showing, and it's indicating the ass and the balls. So she's saying that Big Mama, the painting of Big Mama is shaped like this. Bro, chill the fuck out, bro. Chill. Man, chill the fuck out, man. What the fuck is you talking about, man? So it's a painting of a woman in this nigga house, and she's shaped like a dick. Her whole body resembles a dick. I'm talking about from the top of her head to whatever part you can't see no more is shaped like a phallus, in her words. Bro, that's an aqua body bitch. That's all I can say. She ain't got no titties or nothing. So she just head straight down, and you can't even see the ass. Literally, everything even or base out like just like what we just seen. Bitch.
I could only assume that.
Okay.
I can only assume this, but she just said that he didn't even tell her that this is how we look at it. She said, I had to discern this myself, that he's actually looking at the pictures like this. He didn't even confirm that. And now she's saying that he didn't confirm nothing she said, but yet I think he's looking at this bitch like a dick. I ain't see her ass to compare it to the balls, but I think that he see her as shaped like a cock. What are you fucking talking about, bro? What the fuck is you talking about?
Okay.
That would make sense.
Okay. So that sounds like phallus worship to me. What is your opinion on that?
I fully believe that because the very first thing that Rod said to me when the first incident happened was, Big Mama told me I didn't do anything wrong. Now, a true spirit would never tell you that taking advantage of someone in their sleep is not wrong. Only
you wasn't asleep. You confirmed that you wasn't asleep. You confirmed and you said out your own mouth that you thought that he thought that you was asleep, but you was up the whole time. This is what you said out your mouth. That's why I said it seemed like a setup, because you admitted that you wasn't asleep and you let him proceed to kiss on your ears and your neck. It's only when he tried to kiss you in the mouth where you say, are you trying to kiss me? After you allow him to kiss on your neck and your ears. But go on, because this seemed like witchcraft, trickery.
only you could listen to your body to say that, because of course, if a guy's horny, he's not going to think he's wrong for acting on that.
Oh, that bitch didn't pour that. No, she didn't pour that. Oh, so now we just thinking with our dick. Although some men do that, it definitely do happen. But all of just think about the situation she put herself in. Everything that she said she allowed to happen, and she never corrected it, not once until the third time. So she put herself in what she think was an inappropriate situation 3 times with the same guy that she thought was taking advantage of her. What? That sounds crazy.
Okay. Now, many people would say, Tiara, why did it have to happen 3 times for you to get the message to leave? Now, I want to remind the audience that this girl.
This is what I've been speaking on. I don't even know what she about to say right now, but this seems like this is that counter psyop type shit though. Because it's like, if this wasn't pre-planned, this interview wasn't pre-planned, how is it that she ain't been thinking of this? So you mean to tell me you're thinking about asking her this question after y'all talk for what? 50 motherfucking minutes. Now you decide to ask her that? Or now you decide to acknowledge it and speak on it? Why you? Because I'm interested to know that. So I would have ended up cutting you off as an interviewee on my channel to ask that question like, what, girl, you said it happened 3 times. Why the fuck did it make it to 3 times? Why you ain't get out there the second time or the first time, but you let it go to 3? That question would have been asked because I'm curious. I really want to know. Why the fuck did you put yourself in that situation 3 times? And you want me to feel pity or empathy or sympathy for you. And you literally put yourself in that situation 3 times? What the fuck? Why would you do that? What made you do that? But I want to see what Ice is ready to say.
This girl said that Rod Hayes sent her money to come to where he was. That means you didn't have any money, did you?
Not enough for all that traveling back and forth, no.
Okay. So,
bro, you see what I'm saying though? Why would ISIS assume and to say something like that? So you're saying he offered you money. So that means you ain't had no money, right? Did it? Did it? It's like she's trying to make Rod Hayes guilty, and not that I even really care. I'm just saying how Quantel Pro work and how there's so many holes in this situation. And if it's females that's out here who's really moving like this with this mindset, y'all are fucked up individuals, and y'all put yourself in these dangerous situations or these crazy situations, and then y'all expect the world or people to come, and that's on some Cassidy and Diddy shit. Like Cassidy didn't know that Diddy was Diddy before she got with him, thinking she was gonna reap the fucking benefits, bro. Who do you expect to show empathy or sympathy for when you didn't even show any of this shit for your goddamn self, bro? I hate to be harsh like that, but that's just what it is. Because you thought you was gonna reap the benefits and then go like you wanted. Because now you can spin the narrative any kind of way you want to. For me to just side with you with these inconsistencies or these holes in the story is just crazy. It's crazy. It would be absolute crazy.
did you have money to leave?
Honestly, no. I had to walk to the bus station and ask my family for money.
So she didn't travel out of state with another nigga with not enough money to get back to where she originally came from, relying solely on this person that she don't know. Yeah, she was looking for a come up, bro. She was looking for a come up. That's it. She was looking for a come up, or it was a setup from the start. Why? Who would do that, bro? I had plenty of females, and none of them dumped to this motherfucking point right here, unless they was working for New Hustle escort services. Other than that, never to this magnitude, bro. It makes no, to me, it makes no sense, bro. I just don't get it.
Okay. So the reason why you stuck around so long was because you felt
It's like ISIS is leading her. How is ISIS telling her what's the reason she stayed around so long if they didn't already pre-plan this interview and shit like that? How the fuck that's called leading, Your Honor? Objection. Leading. Yes, the prosecutor is leading the witness into saying what they want them to say by giving them hints at what they want them to say, basically, Your Honor. So basically saying, so the reason you didn't leave was because of this, that, and the third, right? So if it makes sense to me, then all you got to do is say, yeah, that's the exact reason. That's leading.
felt like you were in a predicament in a situation.
And this is where the spiritual stuff kind of comes in that I didn't talk about too much because it's not provable. Basically, he would use me as an ATM. So he would give me cash and send me money on Cash App and have me pay for things, or like give him money like, hey, I just gave you this and I need this for that, and like have me buy things with the money that he gave me. So I didn't know that that was what he was going to continue intending to do. So there was one particular instance where my son's father asked me for assistance with buying my son's school supplies. So I sent my ex-husband $100. And when Rod asked me about the money I had, I told him how much I had on my account. He was like, that's all you got? And I'm looking at him like, you're giving me money? I didn't think that you were pocket watching what I had, and you're not going to monitor what I'm using my money for. And you're not going to.
Oh, what she said, she was a little trick to that nigga. So he was paying her for her time, like an old OnlyFans, like prostitute is what I'm assuming, because I'm paying you for this, that, and the third. I know how much I'm giving you. So if I ask you for $100 or for you to take care of this, and for you to tell me that you don't got it, yeah, then I can say, then, well, what happened to all the money I'm sending you? She said, well, basically, don't worry about it, because I helped my other baby daddy with the money you was giving to me to come and see you after I was telling you that I don't want you to touch me or do none of this shit, as I slept in the bed with you 3 times already. What? Oh, this bitch is full of fucking game. I know
Like,
this type.
I don't know. And then when I say it's spiritual, a lot of people know I have my own online business, so I would focus on doing things for my business. But when I'm in situations that are not good for me, my money slows down. I make either $0 or just enough to make it to keep my business overhead going, so I don't lose certain things. And when that type of stuff was happening, I even had to ask him for help on my phone bill. So when stuff like that was,
Why is you asking for help when your baby dad is asking you for help and you sending him the money that another nigga is giving you? I don't fucking get it. So the money that I'm providing for you, you send it to another nigga. Then when I ask you about it, you tell me don't inquire about it, because bitch, you was sending it to me anyway. So why is you clocking what you giving me anyway? But now you asking me to help you with your phone bill. What? Bitch, go get the money from your baby daddy. I just gave it to you and you gave it to him. You try to make a sob story. Oh, he needed something for our kids, so I gave it to him. And this bitch, no, you're not going to play that sympathy and empathy card. I know your fucking scandalous type. I know you're a scandalous type. So you want your cake and to eat it too. That is fucking.
what was going
it's
on,
so
I knew I was
crazy.
in a really bad situation. So that was how I was able to figure out, okay, I got to go.
So your other baby daddy just getting money from you, and he not helping you at all. He's not putting money in your pocket. But the next guy is that you're up here talking about was inappropriate or sexually assaulted you. I don't even understand that. But go on. Not saying that it's impossible. I'm just saying I don't understand it.
I got to plan my escape.
Okay.
That bitch gotta escape.
So on the day that you left, what happened?
On the day that I left, we had set plans for me to get a rental car in my name, because Rod Hayes does not have an ID. He does not have a driver's license. So he would not be able to get a car on his own.
Okay.
So his sister was assisting financially, and I was going to use my license to get the rental car so we could drive to Memphis. My plan to Memphis, and I'll be honest with you, was we're going to drive to Memphis, and I was going to leave him at whatever hotel he picked, and I was going to just go home. I was going to get a ride and go back home. It's like, he got the car. I'll fix my credit another time. I don't care. That's how I was planning to do it at first. It couldn't even get that far.
Why?
After the next assault happened, I was like, I don't think I'm even going to be safe enough to make it, because also when that person got kicked out, I had to take out my knife, because the relative that was kicking out the other person in the home was saying, you better be glad Rod's here. You better be glad that my other relative is here right now. So I went ahead and took my knife out and locked the door just in case anything popped off, because the person that was getting kicked out was bringing me up in the conversation as if I mattered, and I didn't. So I went ahead and locked the door and took my knife out, and Rodney saw my knife. So he took that as a direct threat. But I mean, at the same time, I did want to use my knife when that last situation happened, but listened to my own guides and they said, just leave. So I just left.
Okay. And at that point, you was able to call your family. They sent you some money. You was able to catch the bus home. He didn't try to come after you or anything like that during that time period.
Now that I don't know. I couldn't
Okay.
answer that question.
What the
So
fuck?
then, what?
See, that right there is to make a person seem dangerous, because all of this stuff. You didn't know enough to separate yourself from the situation when it happened 2 times in a row, but you let it go on to 3 times in a row, really 4 times in a row, because you said that his people got a rental car so y'all could go out of town and you still stay with him upon that or whatever or whatnot. Now she asks you, what do you think he was after you? Well, that I don't know. Bitches, either did you think it? Did he show the signs of it? Did he pursue you? Or it like nothing? No, so you don't know nothing. You got nothing. You don't know if he was after you try to leave or nothing. You don't know nothing. That you don't know about. Okay, we're going to continue.
When did the threat start? When did this man start threatening you?
I don't recall him threatening me. I don't recall him threatening me directly. It was just his followers harassing me once I shared my story.
Okay, so his followers were harassing you, and his followers were getting at you because you shared your story about what happened to you.
Yes.
Okay. Now, let me pull something up here. Give me a second. Because you posted this on Facebook, correct?
Yes.
Or was it Instagram?
See, but she know this because it's already pre-planned. She wouldn't have known this if Shawty girl didn't give her Facebook information as something, a talking point in this interview right here. This is not nothing she just discovered. She ain't doing no real journalism work. She ain't scoured the internet for this information right here. She already know because these bitches already talk behind closed doors, behind the scenes, before the cameras got to rolling tonight. They had already talked. I mean, we all know that's obvious.
It was Facebook first.
Okay. And I'm going to read y'all something out loud from Tierra Ellie.
Show us.
And I'm actually going to have all the links at the bottom of the description so you guys can actually click the links and see the evidence for yourself. But on right here, it says that you said, my story is to free myself and others who have a story about being harmed. Nearly all of 2022 was full of harassment and stalking in my life. A major situation resulted in sexual assault. Many people around me lying, and as expected. I've been called an agent and other terms to defame or misrepresent my authentic character. Rodney Hayes and others who are 10 plus years my elder have hurt me and harassed me in more than one way. There are those closer to my age who are also involved in these situations. However, the elders need to be held accountable at a higher standard.
See, she fucking up. She just living. She need a dad in her life. That's what it is, bro. She ain't had no father figure. She ain't show nobody, no mother to show her how to properly love or anything like that. Because for you to say that this guy Rod Hayes is 10 years your elder speaks a lot about how this lady right here was raised in my own sense. But I know that, you can't always get your kids to follow your advice or do what you say. So even if she did have, let's say, a good mom, good dad, as kids, they still got to go. We all been there. Our mama could tell us the best news or advice, give us the best advice that we know is good, and we go against it because our mother been through it before, our father been through it before, but we as adolescents think that we know it all. So I could definitely believe that, but something went wrong in her life and the decisions that she made. Now, brother, these guys are guilty of what they're saying.
Any live stream video.
I hope that, they get what they deserve. Those are just facts. But for her to openly know all this and have all this as an arsenal to defame or to now speak out against it, it's like either the Stockholm syndrome was very rampant at the time and she was a serious victim of it, or it's just utter bullshit. Like I said, I hate to victim shame because I hate to be the guy that she really went through something and went through what she's saying, and me to be up here trying to discredit her or poke holes in her story, even though it don't make sense to me. I just feel like a piece of shit. I wouldn't feel no better than the person being accused of the atrocities, to be honest. I feel like absolute shit, though. But, it's, hey, I mean, I wouldn't be me if I didn't have questions. It just don't sound right, bro. So it's not like I can just listen to it and say, oh, yeah, well, damn, and just commit 100% to being on her side versus his side because, god damn,
Like, how many signs did God have to show you before you was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and listen to the universe and showing me all these signs. He done warned me not once, not twice, not three, but 4, 5, 6 times, to the point where I done went out of state with her. Even the time after we stayed together for 3 times, he sent me money. I gave it to my other baby daddy. And he questioned me about the money that he was giving me, and we had a falling out about that. And then rented the cars and stayed with his family members and had a falling out about that. And I had to put out the knife. It's like she literally kept putting herself in these situations time and time and time again. It's just crazy to me that it's crazy.
Video or photo post about me that Rodney Hayes shared after August 23rd, 2022 was his way of falsely doing damage control. People have told me that he said many positive things about me on his platforms and other platforms. I care not to be praised by someone who took advantage of my situation. While I understand that the knowledge he shared in collaboration with me aligns with what our people need to know, I will not stay silent about his actual physical actions towards me. In these pictures are my story and parts of our conversations. Here's a link to the original post I made about the situation in 2022. Now I'm going to post a link so you guys can see all this stuff, because you did a really good job of collecting this information. So I want to commend you for that. Now, okay, hold on for a second. What am I looking at here? Okay, now there's a thing that was done here August 20th, 2022. It's titled "The Tea on Rod Hayes." Hold on, give me a second. Things moving too fast. Give me a second. I'm seeing the comments. People were shocked. So you told this story literally 2 years ago.
Yes.
But hardly anybody knew about it.
I did reach out to Vice News because they were already making articles mentioning me, and they were reaching out to me initially. So I replied to them with this story, and they haven't released that interview. They get a new phone. People were constantly trying to find where I was. So I was moving around a whole lot. Like I said, a lot of the supporters of Rashad Jamal are also Rodney Hayes followers. So it was a mixture of the same people.
See, and this could be a psyop as well, like, because they always go after those who they feel as though are have influence in the community or trying to lead to a revolution. So if you have constant stories attacking these same type of people who they view as these type of people, as them and their following is crazy. This is what it seems like. It seemed like a whole discrediting campaign to make anybody who follow these people seem crazy, and it's like a cult-like following. I'm just looking at that from that point of view. Now, it cannot be that, but it very well can be that as well. None of it is dismissed. Dealing with, when it comes to COINTELPRO and how these people disseminate, infiltrate, and destroy a movement, and it goes into the whole narrative of painting all of these so-called spiritual, enlightened, woke ones who speak this same type of mannerism or speak this same type of jargon and taking them all, lumping them in one group and painting them as this one type of person. So if you find this type of person, they still was the same type as Rashad Jamal. If you find this type of person, they was still same type as Young Pharaoh. If you find this type of person, all have in common spirituality, saying that they're spiritual gurus and uplift them, or it's just that real pedophiles and creeps and perverts is taking advantage of the spiritual community, which that could very well be possible too. But it's like, when you really start to dissect the stories and watch how these brothers, like, it gets to the point where anybody who's big in the spiritual community, you already know who they're gonna come after next. Yaki Awaken. It's gonna be some crazy shit on him next. It's gonna be some crazy shit on who else? Let's see, 23 Dog, that guy who do the spiritual content. Anybody who we could see is getting a buzz in the spiritual community and elevating and doing shit like this, who's trending and popular at the time, we could all assume that it's going to be something to this magnitude, because with 4 out of the 5 of the people that I named, it was all sexual assaults and things of that nature. And it's like what the fuck? It's like the first one didn't learn from the second one didn't learn from the third one didn't learn from the fourth one. All these niggas just sexual demons and they just fucking dumb doing it. Like, yeah, they deserve to be caught. Like I said, it's just weird.
And by the time I was already leaving and going to new places, people were already aware of the fact that I had left from this place or I had gone to this place and I was with these people or I was by myself. People already knew these things by the time I had conversations with them. And I'm like, I'm not posting anything on social media. People know I was completely silent on social media for a good while. Maybe a story post every once in a while just to let people know like I'm okay. But people were constantly asking me my location, what city are you in? Like, and that question came up so much at the end of 2022 and somewhat throughout 2023.
And what were some of the things that these people were saying to you, beloved?
A lot of the same things that people are saying in the comments now, like, trying to make it seem as if my intentions had nothing to do with helping our community. So a lot of people will say things like I'm a community pass around, that I sleep around with guys, that I do this and that. It's just a lot of sexual things, trying to make it seem as if I intentionally put myself into that situation just so I can gain something from him when he offered me a place to stay as far as being a safe haven. So people accusing me of sex work and people accusing me of just being a whore in general.
I mean, that's kind of, I'm not saying that she was. I'm not saying that she's not. But based on the story, you saying that he offered you money for you to spend time with. I mean, that's what one would seem like. It seemed like he paid you for companionship. In the escort service, that's what females say if you're texting and communicating with them on the phone, so you won't suffer no legal ramifications. So if it's a prostitute staying in your neighborhood and you're doing sex work, then you would use those kind of terms, because if they're listening to your phone or have it tapped, then they can't possibly get you for selling pussy, because you're not saying that you're not soliciting sex for money. You're not saying that you give me $150 and I'll show you a real good time. You're making it specifically known that, well, $150 for some companionship and for me to see you tonight, some shit like that. You make sure that you never speak about sex when you speak about money, because then if you speak about sex when you speak about money, then it's illegal. So but anybody who's been in the pimping game would know that, or these OnlyFans females or prostitutes would really know that. So, but based on what she said, Ryan Hayes was paying her money to stay with him. So not only was he paying you money, he was offering you somewhere to live. So you was getting allowance and you had shelter over your head. And you were sleeping in the same bed with him. And you noticed that he was trying to kiss you, or was kissing on you and kissing on your ear. And you, off your own words, you thought that he was getting away with it because he thought that you were asleep. But yet bro, it's just so much, bro. It's just weird. I know a real life, like, prosecutor, like a defense attorney for Ryan Hayes would pick this apart in a jury case, because there's so many holes in her story. None of it makes sense, to be honest. And she probably is a victim of it. But the way she's disclosing the details of the situation is not helping her legally. It's not helping her look like a victim.
Which is some of the comments I saw as well on my platform as well, where people automatically looked at you and judged you right off the rip without hearing anything that you had to say. How does that make you feel?
Horrible. I know I'm cute, but dang.
I mean, you all right. You ain't. I'll give you a 6.5, bit. Fuck is you talking about?
I don't get it, especially considering the fact that my story has always been consistent and there are other victims. If there were no other victims that people brought to me, then I get it a little bit more, because I already knew I was going to be told I was a liar. I knew that from the jump. People were going to assume I was an agent. People were going to assume I'm an op. I knew that from the jump. But after I learned that there were other...
Most people don't even know what an agent and an op is, sis. I hate to say it, but in this
let me see what Ice is saying.
community, they don't know what an agent and an op is. They think they know what an agent and an op is, but they don't know what an agent and an op is. It's laughable.
It is.
Now let me ask you another.
So Isis Wyndham is assuming that she's basically the only one, or not many people know what an agent or this, that, and the third look like, but she knows undoubtedly, and nothing about this is suspicious. Even though, like I stated, and I say this again, this lady right here could be telling the truth. I'm just saying the way she's presenting her story and her case, it would allow a good defense attorney to destroy her on the stage. Those are just the facts. Those are just the facts. So I'm not sure that if she was just in that vulnerable state in her life where she really needed help and she was willing to go through anything to receive it from whoever, this, that, and the third. I don't know what her motive was when she neglected to meet up with this guy, accept monetary gain for being in his presence, for staying the night with him, and so on and so forth. We don't know what any of that came with. We don't know, we don't know what type of deals or contracts were signed or made or any of that. But from the world that I'm from, if you giving a female money to stay with you and to sleep under the same roof, pussy is at the end of the night. That's all I'm saying. That's just it. Pussy is at the end of the night, regardless on how anybody else want to try to kick it or make it feel or seem or whatever, whatnot. All of that been established. I promise you it have before all of this transpired. It didn't happen over 3 times, and she came to stay with me 3 times, and it wasn't already solidified or etched in stone the first 2 or 3 times. I'm just saying it didn't. From the world I'm from, I'm just saying.
Another question. Were you privy to when Rashad Jamal had an issue with Rod Hayes?
No, I didn't know he had been
know what was going on with that.
I didn't know any details. I remember he said fuck the entire spiritual community. So I didn't. He also said fuck Ty Spiritual and a few other people specifically. I knew about the whole Young Pharaoh situation. So that one made sense. I knew all about that situation. But when he said fuck Ty Spiritual, me and Ty Spiritual, we're cool. We talked a little bit. I never met him in person, but I didn't have an issue with him specifically. Then when he mentioned Rod Hayes specifically, like during that time period, I was asking Rashad, like, are you okay? Like, those were my DMs to him after all that happened. I didn't like when he dropped the song about, and including Remedy H, because him and Remedy H had a problem too. I remember when he dropped the song Pushing Peace, and it was contradictory. It was hypocritical, because how can you push peace when you're saying what you're saying? Like, the song is cool, like the song is a great song, but the lyrics are contradictory. You can't push peace while saying what you're saying. Now, if you're doing if it's a diss track, if it's an expose, let it be that. Don't say pushing peace when, that was how I felt about the situation. But with Rod Hayes, he never told me or said anything publicly specifically, and I didn't know what was going on. He just got mad at everybody, so I had no context of what was going on with Rod specifically.
Okay. All right. Because there was a video that he had put out where you literally saw him say F Rod Hayes, F Remedy H, F Kala, F Ty Spiritual, F all these people. And I'm like, okay, I saw that video. And I was like, what the hell is going on? What is happening right now? So as far as I understood it to be, these individuals were enemies of Rashad Jamal.
And I can say very specifically, which was why I didn't go by what he said. The situation with Ty Spiritual, I remember that because Ty had released a YouTube video and he was just giving his opinion, his commentary on situations that were going on. And he really didn't say anything derogatory about Rashad. He didn't like the situation, basically. And he said, this looks bad. That was pretty much all Ty was saying. So when he did say fuck Ty Spiritual, I was like, now, I don't know what you're on, because Ty really didn't say anything. It probably hurt your feelings and you probably feel disrespected, which he has every right. He has every right to feel disrespected by anything anybody did to him directly, especially after everything he had been through and the stuff he was going through currently. So I get how he was upset. But when you tie everybody together, it makes it hard to know what the problem is, because the problem with Ty he didn't deserve that.
I'm just saying I don't know nothing about this, but if you're saying that Ty didn't deserve this, but you understand that Rashad Jamal had every right to feel the way he did, so it can't be both. Ty didn't deserve it. Ty spoke on Rashad Jamal, and Rashad Jamal responded in whatever manner that he did, and you feel like Rashad Jamal had the right to do that because he felt disrespected, but Ty didn't deserve it. What? He was the person that made Rashad Jamal respond in the manner that you're speaking about right now. So that's contradictory too, though. I just can't. I'm just saying both of them can't be right. As man, women like this need to find a way to stay the fuck out that situation and shit like this because that's how a lot of niggas get hemmed up. Females like this thinking that they play a role in something or wanting to speak about man business, bro. That never been good in the history of women and men relationships, bro. You gotta learn how to stay in your place. I'm just saying this is not no male chauvinist type shit. It's just is what it is because if you had an incident with a man, then you're gonna go to a man to come and defend you. So it's the same thing. Keep your mouth out of man business. Is all I'm saying. Especially when you're agreeing with both of them. Ty didn't say anything to disrespect them, and Rashad Jamal have every right to feel disrespected. But Ty was okay. He was cool. He didn't do anything. But bitch, it can't be both.
So
Right.
when he mentioned other people's names, I was just kind of like, he doesn't like these people, but I'm still cool with him. And he's just saying everybody. So I don't know.
Oh, so that's why they saying that she was a pass around. Notice that she just said people was inboxing her, leaving comments saying she was a spiritual pass around. This is because she had personal ties with all of these content creators we spoke on, I spoke on too, which is fucking weird. I never even heard of her in the spiritual community. Today is the first time ever me ever heard of this young lady right here, and I'm not even saying that to be funny. So, but for her to be connected to all of those brothers and all of them to suffer the same fate, and her to be connected to all these brothers and all of them suffer the same fate, and the only ones who's up when the smoke clear is these two benefiting. She's getting money from the views and clicks. She's getting notoriety, and people is knowing her name. Now I know her name. I didn't know who the fuck she was prior to this, but she was in connection to all of the brothers she's speaking about, which is fucking weird. That's just too many factors, too many coincidences. That's all I'm saying. Like I said, I may be reaching. It may be the paranoia schizophrenic in me. Hey, you know what they say about us targeted individuals. So this just may be it in full blown or in full display. But it's just weird to me that both of these individuals know all of these male on a personal level.
I just played it cool with everybody, still pretty much. And if anybody,
so she just was straddling the fences, is what she just said. I just played it cool with everybody who I'm speaking on, who all had a problem with them. I'm just the denominator in this whole equation. So I mean, that's just it. So don't blame me or point at me for nothing. I just was cool with all of them. What? Oh, okay.
had any questions, me and Ty talked after that. He was like, "Why did Rashad say that?" I was like, "I don't know, bro. He's going through a lot, like the stuff like that." So I just still kept it like cool with people, which goes back to Rodney's situation. This was why everything was weird. When me and Rod started talking, he said, well, once Rashad said, fuck Rod Hayes, I was done with it. And I was like, okay, because I asked him, hey, do you mind speaking on Rashad's situation? You're an elder, people really respect you, and people would love to hear how you support him through him being falsely accused of a crime that he did not commit. And that was what he said. He was like, well, once he said fuck Rod Hayes, I was done with it. And I was like, I get what you're saying, but you also got to look at the entire situation. Look, he's in jail right now. You know what I'm saying? He was already facing this situation before y'all had whatever situation y'all had. Rod didn't even explain what happened to me, but I had to put clues together. He was talking about Rashad behind his back. So I get it now. Word came back to Rashad, and that was why he mentioned him. So that made more sense to me after the fact. Rodney Hayes never started speaking on Rashad Jamal's case until I asked him to directly to his face.
I had heard some rumors that his wife was also.
So why would she ask Rod Hayes to speak if she know that them two brothers didn't even have no quarrels or they never mentioned each other? Why would she ask him specifically to speak on Rashad Jamal?
Even though I know you ain't speak on him before, but I'm asking you in your face. Could you speak on him now? What, bitch? What? Bro, chill, bro, because that's not innocent, bro. I'm just saying that it's weird for her to say that out of her mouth. That the only reason that that conversation even arose or those two brothers spoke on each other because I asked them to his face to acknowledge it. Out her own mouth is what she's saying. I don't know how I could be taking that wrong.
Or sense to me after the fact. Rodney Hayes never started speaking on Rashad Jamal's case until I asked him to directly to his face.
I had heard some rumors that his wife was also speaking to Rod Hayes. Do you know anything about that?
She was. Rodney showed me the DMs where she texted Rod Hayes from her account and said, "I'm warning you about Ellie." And Rod asked me, "Do you know what she means by that?" I said, "I don't know."
Wow. Did Rashad know that his wife was texting Rod?
I do not believe he did. He specifically said that Zakia is only to speak to females, to goddesses. And he asked for me to speak to all the males, to all the gods. That was his instructions to her.
Okay. Wow. So now, as it stands right now, where are you right now at this point in your life? Because that did happen 2 years ago. And I'm sure that you've probably grown and healed a lot since then.
I sure have, and I appreciate you asking. I'm doing great.
Oh, this bitch.
I got a lot of clarity. Once I started speaking on the situation, seeing how people were reacting to me, that was why I started making certain live streams too. Now, I didn't have to call people by name. I only call people by name it was only Rod Hayes, really. I didn't have to call pretty much anybody else by name. Mm-hmm. I definitely called out his character because y'all only heard about the assault situation, but you don't know how he lives. He is a false teacher. He is a hypocrite. So
now I could believe that about a lot of these spiritual so-called gurus and things like that. I definitely believe that there's a lot of infiltrators and there's a lot of people who use this type of information to, gain an audience, to gain a reputation and shit like that. So I'm not going to act blind to that neither. I'm not going to say she's lying about it because like I said, I'm just saying that a lot of the things she says in question because of how she's like double talking and just stepping on her own words. A lot of what she's saying don't make sense, but a lot of it do, if that makes sense to you guys.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? A false teacher, a hypocrite?
The things that he speaks about, he does not abide by. He does not have a lifestyle of keeping these things up, and he'll completely go against what he said.
I have seen that in the sense of things that he would say out in the public and then turn around and contradict himself. And I never really understood why people never saw that.
My thing with ISIS is you was cool with all of these brothers though. So it's like that if you was anything of a real woman and you classified yourself as cool with him, why didn't you check him on that type of behavior or how he carried himself off camera or on camera? So for you to be around someone and see that they're being fake or being hypocritical, but you still ride with them until their ship come crashing is just weird to me. It's weird because you didn't see any of this until he took this sexual assault hit. The same thing with Rashad Jamal. The same thing with Young Pharaoh. What I'm saying is just a repeated pattern. Now, all those guys could be guilty as fucking day of all the things they've been accused with, and they just been wolves in sheep clothing. That is a possibility. The odds of it, I don't know. We just gonna say 50-50. They could have been or they couldn't have been. I mean, that's just it. I don't know every main factor that transpired between all three of these individuals with those males that's included. All I'm saying is these two motherfuckers right here is always around when the motherfucking smoke settles. That's all I'm saying. These are some elusive motherfuckers.
And it was so obvious that that's what was going on. I mean, if you go back and you listen to some of the lies that he did, you literally hear this man contradicting his own words right on the lives. And it really tripped me out that people never paid attention to that. I just didn't get it.
I didn't tune into his content that often.
I
That's
don't need
one
to.
of the reasons
I
why I
need-
was cool with associating with him, because I wasn't an avid listener or watcher of his live streams. So I was not able to catch it. He just spoke to me in a very, very specific way. People even said, he always is really happy on live with you. He's never this happy when he's doing live streams with other people. I'm not trying to hear that. You know, I'm just like, oh, whatever, people like me. Like, it just, that wasn't a big deal to me. But now everything makes sense how he was just kind of plotting in his head. So where I'm at right now, I've completely moved on with my life. I'm still on my same exact mission. Grow your own food and homeschool your children and set up community gardens. Everybody, this is all about unity. This is all about community. And we know about all these poisons out there. Forget the spiritual and the air poisons, but we have all these poisons literally in our food. We have all this fluoride in our water. We have these issues still, despite this little drama that's happening on the internet. Imagine if people weren't on their phone to even know that this was happening. If they were outside in the garden, they'd be doing way better than what a lot of people are doing right now. So I'm still pushing that.
Yes, and I can really appreciate you for staying on your mission. It takes a strong individual, especially when you don't have the backing and the protection of a masculine. So I want to say to you, beloved, that I am proud of you for coming out and being brave enough to speak your piece in a community full of wolves.
I appreciate
You
that.
are somebody. I never want you to forget this. You are somebody. You made some mistakes along the way.
They strike me as Oprah and motherfucking Gail. I ain't gonna lie. Like I said, I could take being wrong about it, but based on the testimony provided by her herself and the statements made by ISIS and the questions like asked and shit, bro, it leaves some questions, and I'm the guy who's going to ask those questions, though. Like I said, it's tough, it's hard, but somebody have to do it. I'll be damned if I heard, say for instance, if I heard allegations about someone to this magnitude and I invite them on my platform and I ask them all soft questions, but I don't ask them nothing pertaining to the allegations made against them that paint them in a bad light. That's sort of what I'm getting off of this laugh right here. It's like that everything was catered towards her, even with the inconsistencies in her stories. Why do you go back 3 times? There was no like accountability for that, or no real explanation as to why would any sane person or a person who proclaims to be as smart as you're trying to paint yourself on this live right now, even like, why would you ignore that? Why would you? I'm just saying, that's all I'm saying. I'm just saying, I wouldn't pretend to be one of the smartest motherfuckers on the planet or on social media, and then I put myself in the same situation 3 times and then tell y'all, well, yeah, I'm damn this smart, but let me tell y'all how I tricked myself 3 times by falling for the same wolf in sheep clothing on 3 different occasions. Ups 4 because we had to rent the vehicle and I planned on leaving them, but I had to pull out a knife, this, that, and the third. Do you know how that would sound? Coming from a man? Said that I done fell for it. I done fell for it, boo. I told you I wasn't gonna cheat on you no more, but she didn't offer me the pussy again. I got weak to the flesh, and yeah, this is my 3rd time cutting her. What? That's because I wanted to. If that's what happened, what I got to apologize for? I want to know. So I'm trying to use that as sympathy and empathy or a crutch to, for pity or something like that. No, man, we gotta take accountability, bro. We gotta take accountability, and I think that we're lacking all that in this interview. Like I said, I hate for what I'm saying that she's been through based on what we're listening to and shit to be actually real, because I hate to be that guy who's shaming someone who had been through something like that. I really would hate to be that guy. But listening to the story, me being, having sound ears, I only have questions to ask. I mean, I feel as though that it's only right that I'm able to ask these questions, or it's like, don't tell the internet your story. That's all I'm saying.
You're young. How old are you?
I'm now 26 years old.
So this happened when you were 24.
And they was 34. And he was
Okay.
34.
And it's okay to make mistakes. You make mistakes. All human beings make mistakes.
But could we count that as a mistake? She's saying that she put herself in that situation 3 times with Ryan Hayes. When do accountability take effect? When do one must be held accountable for their actions and the decisions that they make? I'm not understanding it, bro. But maybe this is an experience that you have to go through to fully understand and to grasp, because I've never been in this situation like this, never had a female that I put in this situation like this. So really, I don't know. I'm just going based off what sounds logical to me, if that makes sense.
When they're trying to figure things out, just make sure you're not beating yourself up.
Yep.
Pat yourself on the back for stepping out there. Now, I have one more question to ask you,
She got a,
because there's a lot of people
got a cute smile.
that one
You definitely got a cute smile.
wants me to ask you this question. I already know the answer to this question, as most women who have been assaulted know the answer to this question. Did you ever go to the police and file a police report?
Nope.
And why?
I was not raped, so there would be no DNA. It would be my testimony alone, and I already know how.
But that's what we got going on right here. It's just your testimony. It's just your words against his. Nothing you are saying is valid because you don't have proof. It's literally just what you're saying versus what he's saying. So if you were in any kind of danger and you found yourself there more than 3 or 4 times, and you didn't take any measurements to get out of that because you said you wanted to escape, that you got to rent a car and that you was going to leave him in this state and you were just going to fix your credit, this, that, and the third. So if that's the case, why you didn't use the police as a way to escape the bad situation that you was in? Go to them when you had to rent a car or whatever, whenever you had it. Call them whenever you had the chance to and told them you didn't feel comfortable around this man and you need to get far away because you feel as though that your life is in jeopardy. You didn't do any of that. I'm just saying, you didn't do any of that. Now you want us to believe because I didn't have proof to verify any of this, so I stayed around and put up with it for as long as I did because I just couldn't convince the police based on me thinking that I could call them and tell them, yeah, something's going on because it's my word against his, so they weren't going to do nothing about it. So I just stuck around until I couldn't take it no more. Bitch. Excuse the language, but what are you talking about? Maybe that makes sense to other people, bro, but shit like that really don't make sense to me, bro, because you had ample amount of time to call law enforcement. Law enforcement go get you separated from that black nigga. I promise you, if a black female, any female at that moment calls for police help and is against a male, if you're not a targeted individual, oh, you best believe they're going to come in, they're going to make some shit shake. You better believe it.
How situations like those go. I'm a grown adult woman, and they usually don't take cases like that seriously. However, once I learned that there were other victims who had way worse situations than mine, I knew that I had to do something, even if I didn't have evidence of my own situation.
Now, you know about these other victims, don't you?
Yes.
You know who
Yes.
some of these other victims are. Have you spoken to some of these other victims?
I tried my best to speak to Righteous Decoy. That's her Instagram handle. I was never able to speak to Portia. Rod would talk so bad about Portia, and I asked him what she did. He just like, oh, that bitch this and this bitch that. I said, well, what did she do? And he never said anything specific. And then he was on his phone one day, and he's sitting in his chair, and he's like, oh, yeah, Benji, he got Portia. And I said, oh, are they in Chicago? Like, what happened? Like, I'm totally ignorant to what's going on. Like, what happened? Like, is everything cool? He never gave me an answer. So that was part of the post that you read, the Tea on Ryan Hayes, where Portia was talking about her story, and it lined up with mine.
Wow. So what did you hear? What did you actually hear? And why do you think these women didn't come out and speak?
So as far as Portia goes, she did speak, but the whole channel was taken down. That was Gerard Benji's channel. He no longer has his YouTube channel, so that interview is no longer up. And I'm assuming situations like that have happened often, where people would speak up, and then now there's no evidence of them even speaking up. People accusing them of lying like they did myself. I'll be honest, I'll be honest. I'm the only person who had like the clout and the recognition already from the court case situation. So nobody else had as much recognition as me. There's just ladies upset on the internet. So people weren't believing them regardless of how bad the situation actually was.
And how bad was the situation?
There one of the ladies I know for sure, her situation is so bad that she now has an STD.
Wow.
Well, damn.
The same thing I believe that he accused me of. Isn't that interesting?
Oh, so this get back for ISIS.
Listen to a person long enough, they begin to start telling on themselves.
Oh,
Very
That's all
interesting.
that's all he does. That was what I noticed when I was in person with him. He would constantly tell on himself. And the spiritual thing again, you can't lie to me. I'm an individual where if I come to you with righteous intentions, you're not able to lie to me. So when he would try to lie to me,
I don't really want to listen too much more of this, man. I'm burnt out over listening to all this little drama, but I just found it interesting how these two females are connected to all those individuals, and that these two females are the last one standing. She just said out her own mouth that she recognized that she was the only one who had enough clout to bring this situation to light or whatever, whatnot. This is my first time ever even hearing about her. I really fell back on Isis Wisdom after I saw how she was doing Rashad Jamal based on their relationship before he ended up catching that case. So, but like I said, it's all mess, and a message to those people that's really following and pandering and pushing this spiritual community thing, not telling y'all to stop this, that, and that. We're all grown, but all I'm saying, this is some shit to come with it, and I'm pretty sure y'all all are aware of it. And I'm not saying that this is a part of the shit. I'm just saying it smell like it. It smell like it, but you know, my nose may be stopped up. I could be wrong, and I may owe both of these women an apology. Who knows? All I'm saying is it's just saying real suspect. And that's all I'm saying, man. So I figured it's something I want to talk about on how this goes in line with how COINTELPRO also operates, and how, you know, the slander campaigns. Once you start seeing these people targets and the type of people getting taken down, it's real easy. Us as targeted individuals should know that how easy it is to paint us as a villain in the community of their choice, whether it's online, we deal with the trolls, whether we bumping heads with real targeted individuals back to back. We all know that those are real trolls on here, and they're here to instigate, to slander, to stain your name. It's the same thing in the spiritual community. It's the same thing in life, whether it's the business place, whether these people acknowledge the fact that they're participating in gang stalking or slander. And this is just something that's so common right now that, you know, it becomes the point where the people who's aware of these things, you're either in on it or you're able to spot the bullshit. So it's like, then you have those sheep who's just eating up and saying, who's not really thinking and just listening based on, you know, gender versus gender, or their hate for one of those content creators. And me, I like to deal with the facts, me personally. And when something don't add up, I have to question it. Whether you got the proper answer for it, or you could sway me into thinking like, oh, okay, now it makes sense and I understand and get what you were saying now. But when it don't make sense at all, and you got a story full of events or situations or scenarios like that that just doesn't add up, and you're telling this story repeatedly, it raises red flags, bro. That's all I'm saying, man. So who knows? Hopefully that is this young lady. She says she's 26. Is telling the truth, then she finds justice, and those guys get what they fucking deserve. And if not, you know, then hope for the best for the guys who's getting put in this situation, if that makes sense. Thought bomber prostitute. I mean, that's what I get. I don't want to start slandering her because I'm just giving my thought on the whole situation. So, Tupac. There's a lot of real G's doing time because Groupie bent the truth and told a lie. That's fact. Rod Hayes from Philly. Sounds like Rod was finna go pump her at Memphis. Oh, bro. How old is he? 26, humiliation ritual. I mean, it could be, like I said, man, with so much psychological, you know, war games or warfare going on.
it's kind of hard to distinguish what's real and what's fake. You know, all you could do is ask yourself questions that's logical. That's all I could go with, bro. Like, I'm not up here trying to make it seem like I'm an Einstein or things like that. I'm just saying when things don't add up to me, you know, I tend to ask questions. I'm not the type that allows someone to talk, especially if they're talking to me or I feel as though that they think they got my attention and I'm just gonna just agree with it and go on. Now, if I don't understand, I truly don't understand. It's not going to be me trying to run game around you or get you to over explain yourself. I truly don't understand. I'm gonna tell you the exact reason why I don't understand. Now, if it makes sense to you, then hey, if it don't make sense to you, then I really don't know what to tell you because I'm gonna try to break it down in layman's terms. That's what I'm gonna do about it. But yeah, I just made this because it's like we all know that this type of thing exists far wisest. They want to stop the Messiah from rising. They want to stop anybody who has influence and going against the mainstream narrative or going against the elites and, you know, just telling truth and things of that nature. So I want to understand, like, is this a part of it? Have these women really like flip for the fame and, you know, to continue to profit in this field so they could be, you know, like the the HBICs, the head bitches and signs, and so on and so forth. Like I said, you never know who to trust in a situation like this, especially when those people apply pressure on you, and you can see now they could take down 4 or 5 people that you know easy and let you know that yeah, we're responsible for this. So do you want this to happen to you as well? The average person is not gonna be able to say, man, fuck y'all, do what y'all do. If y'all want to wreck my life, then go ahead and do it. The average person is thinking about self self-preservation. That's like man's first law. It's self-preservation. So if you have to sacrifice the next person in order to live, the average person is going to do that. They're going to sacrifice that, but whether it's a loved one, whether it's a girlfriend, a husband, a wife, a child, or whatever it may be, we see that time and time again, especially with, you know, this whole ancient Babylon shit that we got going on. Even the Bible, if you want to get biblical, talked about, you know, sacrificing your kids and family and how each household would turn against. We all see these things. We know that these things are fucking true. A lot of us experience these things, but could this be a part of it? Or am I overreaching? Like I said, it just sounds weird because it's like who would put their self in harm's way that many times? Why thinking that the person that they're doing it with is a danger to, you know, a danger to their life or whatever or whatnot. It's like how desperate or is Stockholm syndrome really that rampant or that the effects of it that strong? I mean, who knows? I'm no psychologist, but as I say that, I'm gonna ask questions of things that don't make sense to me. And a lot of what's going on in this interview and how she's telling it and so on and so forth, it just don't make sense. And I'm sorry if I'm shaming, you know, an actual victim, because that's the last thing I want to do, especially when us as targeted individuals get shamed so much into, you know, or gaslit into thinking that what we are truly experiencing is false and bullshit, and we're not the victims, but we're the antagonists in the situation instead of the protagonists. If I'm labeling those two as right, but we're the bad guys, and they're the good guys because they're trying to tell us that it's all in our head, and we need meds, man, and things of that nature. So it's like the reversal of roles in a sense, though, where the victim is actually the guilty party and the guilty party is actually the victim. That's all, just something to think about, man. Like I said, it raised some questions, so I figured I'd touch on it, being that the notification popped up and I actually started listening to it and caught some of the things that was said. It's just, hey, like I said, to each his own, but it just don't seem right to me, man. If I'm gonna be a victim or held or looked at in a different light for asking questions that I think is valid, you know, even in a serious manner of this, then hey, I got to, because honestly, I don't understand. And I'm kind of intrigued about what's going on now. So now I got to get some sort of understanding from it. So maybe you can help me. So let me just ask the source, or let me just continue to listen because something's not sounding right.